was my reaction to all of this? I mean, I'm still watching it. I love it. I mean, it's telling a story. And I think that's the most important thing, telling the story of the season of the thing. Like, I didn't know Scottie Pippen demanded a trade. I mean, they left off at that part. It's episodes 2 and 3, 3 or 4 until next week. They leave on Scottie wanting to trade. Like, damn, that's crazy. What kind of interactions did I have with MJ? I've only met him once, maybe twice, but it was real cool. I met him actually in New York City. We were at a fundraiser for Barack Obama, and it was like a dinner or something like that. And MJ was over there, and I was like, man, I know Barack right there, but yo, MJ is right there. And like they do something like shoot baskets with Barack or something like that, but we didn't really do anything like that. We just like kind of hung around. It was on a basketball court, so we went from like having dinner to going down to the basketball court and kind of, I don't know, we ended up just kind of hanging around. But MJ was there. I went straight up to him because I had never had a conversation with him before. So I went right to him, and he knew my name, and that was just kind of one of the, playing the league. Of course, he knows my name, but I introduced myself. Oh yeah, Chris, and he started talking, and I was like, man, hell yeah. MJ knows my name. I don't care about nothing else. Do you feel Jordan would have won more rings if he would have stayed, if he didn't retire twice and the Bulls been broken up? I don't know. I mean, that's kind of always what people always ask. But man, what they were able to do, 6 championships in 8 years, 2 three-peats. I have been lucky enough to been on a team trying to three-peat, and man, I mean, just like the Warriors last year, you saw sometimes it's not even up to you. If the Warriors are healthy, then they, you can argue that they probably win the series, but just injury and, just complications in a team sport, business, it's so many things that could just kind of just go, kind of change the course of things. You know what I mean? So it's kind of tough to say. I mean, I think mentally, physically, it was important for Jordan to take off that time, and then, moving forward, it's always kind of a tough thing. It's a tough thing to win. Who's better, LeBron or MJ? Y'all stop asking that question. It's not a good question. It's a relative question. Nobody, if they could play against each other, that'd be another thing. But it is, I think, in my opinion, it's a waste of time to try to see who's better. You know what I mean? It's way different. Different times, different eras, all that stuff. Would you feel the same way as Jordan when they wouldn't let him in with 31 seconds left in the game? Well, Jacob Ryan, I got to tell you, I would, man. That's always kind of an interesting concept to kind of talk about, just especially now because tanking had been a thing a little bit. I do agree with MJ, and the great Pat Riley has said the same thing. You have to have a philosophy when you're competing, and if you're playing to lose, then I think that sets a tone in your mind, and in really it sets a tone. Period. You know what I mean? And if you're trying to lose to get a better pick, I think that kind of sends a mixed message to yourself, to your brain, to the people around you. You should always try to win. I think that's for sure something you need to do. So don't ever forget that. Who is my favorite current NBA player? Man, I'm definitely gonna say my guy Bam Adebayo because he's okay. No, he's pretty good. He's like a 6'9" Magic Johnson. I like a lot of the young guys, man. I I mean, I was really looking forward to this season and kind of seeing what's going on. But yeah, definitely Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis is definitely my favorite, one of my favorite players. He was the first guy that I felt that, playing against, I knew that he was going to take the game where he's going to take it. And, he was like that first young guy that's like, man, he's going to be better than me. He's like already better than me right now. He's amazing. Who's my idol growing up? Man, that's a great question. Tennis dude, 12-12. That's a solid name. It was a collection of people. I wanted to be just like KG. I wanted to be just like KG. I wanted to be. When I saw Lamar Odom play, I wanted to be like Lamar Odom, lefty, handling the ball. He was a point forward when he was in college, and that's back when things was unheard of. This is like 9-9. 9-9, I believe, 9-8, somewhere in there. University of Rhode Island. I mean, the lefty from the lefty from Queens was bringing the ball up, bro. That was amazing to me, and I lived in a place where everybody said, if you're a big guy, do not put the ball on the floor. So for me seeing that, ooh, boy, it was crazy. And David, yeah, tennis dude, David, man, appreciate that question. That was a great question. Thank you very much. The eventual Heels documentary, am I excited for it? Hell yeah, I'm excited for it. Because it's going to be, the part I love about it, and I'll talk about this for a little bit. The part that I think is going to be really cool about it is that it's going to be short-lived. It was really just a blip in the radar. We were lucky to have a 4-year run, but, just recently, like Golden State, they were one of those teams that I was just envious of because they kept their run going and was able, to improve by getting KD and everything. Not to say that that's what we were going to do, but when you envision things, when you envision a run and actually getting to go to 4 finals in a row, you think, okay, we're going to win all 4, and then, we're going to do it forever. But that's not the case. At least like at least like more cracks at it. But I think that's one of the things that's going to make it special the further we get removed from it. Because it was so quick. It was just so fast. It was so dramatic. And I think it'll be more of like a changing of the times kind of deal. You know what I mean? I think that's where the story's going to be. The way it was done, the way we did it, the way we were able to win, the way we lost, it's just everything. Everything is cool. Who's my favorite rapper right now? Damn, that's a good question. That's a good question. My favorite rapper. I don't know, man. I got so many. I mean, I'm with the generational guys, the guys at the top. To me, and I know you're always leaving somebody out, but my favorite is Cole, Kendrick, Drake. That's the wheelhouse. You can't go wrong there. And I do have other favorites, but I'd have to go with those guys. They're my favorites. And of course, Jay-Z. Um, I don't know if Kanye's a rapper, but when he was rapping, that was dope. Pusha T. Love Pusha T. Big Crit. You know what I'm saying?